SinglePoint is looking to make our world a better place by making air and power cleaner and more efficient. Joining me is SinglePoint CEO Will Roston to share how they are doing that in a very special way with schools, but also at home too, which is so important. So how are you doing, Will?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having us on this morning.
Tell us about SinglePoint and a little about the history here.
Absolutely. So we're focused in two really important industries: the air quality that we breathe every day in schools, and then creating a sustainable future by installing residential and small commercial solar systems throughout the nation. So that's what we're focused on. We were recently listed as the first U.S. company to list on CBOE, which is extremely exciting for us.
Yeah, and let me remind what CBOE is for those that don't know. It's the
Chicago Board of Exchange.
Yeah,
very similar to NASDAQ, New York Stock Exchange. It's that third, entrance into the market. We're the first ones to have accomplished that achievement.
I love it, and it's very important. I know you guys deal with solar, which is a big thing going on now, but also air quality is so important, especially in our schools. And you guys have started to really go into schools to make sure kids are, of course, having a healthy environment when it comes to breathing right.
Well, our air is dirty, and so many of us struggle with allergies, asthma, the annual cold and flu, and the pandemic really changed how we all think about our indoor air quality when we're sharing air and we're congregating in these places. And what we found in my personal experience and why we got into this was I was in a conference with 12 other people. All of us came out having COVID.
Wow.
And I said, you know what? We have to solve for this. We have to get the kids back in schools, create a cleaner air environment for our teachers to teach in. And from that, everything started to just snowball. Studies coming out about cognitive abilities and how much better it is for you to be learning in an environment where you have clean, fresh, healthy air.
And that comes into this one right here, which is a smaller version of what we've seen in schools and buildings.
Correct.
But people can have this at their home, right?
Yes, that's correct. So this is the smallest unit. And really what makes us different is we use a certified HEPA filtration system. The HEPA filter is good for between 5 and 7 years, depending on what model you have. And every single one is tested before it leaves the facility, ensuring that it's 99.99% clean air coming out of that filter before it leaves.
Right. So what happens with, explain a little bit, so the air kind of like circulates there? Does it really look to pull the air here to work and
So
clean
that's
it?
a really interesting question, actually. The engineer behind this actually designs clean room facilities and also has a NASCAR design firm. So it's really unique understanding of airflow dynamics and filtration. So what they've been able to engineer here is a unit that actually is pushing air down to bring the particles down while they make their way to the filter to then bring up clean air through the filtration.
Wow, this is amazing and so important. And so you're letting them know that, what, if you want to have one in the house, that's great, but also you're looking at business, especially those who are building new, but going into schools, because schools also need financial help to get one of these, don't they?
Yeah, so schools are our #1 market right now. We've got a $5 million grant out of California. We've sold in North Carolina, South Carolina, Texas. There's been $121 billion dedicated by the federal government for K through 12 schools, and additional money for commercial buildings, colleges. Everywhere you need clean air, it needs to be happening.
How many do you recommend to put in a house? Do you recommend every room or just one room for this?
Yeah, you would want to put them in as, depending on how your house is broken up, you'd want one kitchen, get all the, cooking oils and greases and everything like that. Make sure you're filtering all that out of the air. And then your bedroom, because you want to sleep and breathe. We're breathing so much every day and every night. Yeah. But so any environment where you're spending a significant amount of your time in, I would recommend having one in there.
All right, this is great. It's SinglePoint, and of course, where can they find more information?
You want to know what it's SinglePoint.com. You can also follow us on X at _SinglePoint_. And of course, we'll be hopefully back here again.
I'm hoping too, and we'll talk more about this because it's amazing how this is all coming about. So, well, thank you very much.
Wonderful. Thanks for having us.
Right, stick around here because I'm going to talk to you about this. So, also, I want you to stick around because we have more of the mix after this.